When I did my first impression video of this Sena Specter helmet, I was pretty much convinced that this was going to be my go-to helmet from now on. But I recently spent a week and 1,700 miles riding with this helmet. What do I think of it now? Hey everybody, welcome back to Cruiseman's Reviews. Today I'm talking about a long-term review of the Sena Specter helmet. Now I did a review of this a while back, but I hadn't really had that much time to spend with it. But recently I went from Dallas, Fort Worth to Tennessee and back, a little over 1,700 miles, and I had an opportunity to really put this helmet to the test, both as a helmet and as a communicator. Now, for those of you that may not be familiar with the Specter, this is Sena's top-of-the-line modular helmet. And I'm kind of a modular helmet guy. I can wear a full-face helmet, but I much prefer modular. I really like the fact that you can, flip up the chin bar. And that way it's nice if you go to a drive-through window at a bank, or maybe to pick up an order at McDonald's or something, or maybe you just want to take a drink while you're going down the road. I don't know, it's just, to me, it's a much more convenient design. I really prefer a modular helmet. Now, like I said, this is Sena's top-of-the-line modular helmet. And I have modified it a little bit. I have put a break-free mount on the back of this helmet, which fits nicely. The helmet does have some built-in taillights, which I'll talk about here in a little bit. So if you don't have a break-free, which I think everybody should, but if you don't have a break-free, it does have some built-in safety features there. I also added this chin mount to the front of the helmet so that I could do some motovlogging with it. The first thing I want to talk about, and I'm going to basically kind of rate this helmet in several different categories. I'm going to talk about comfort first. This is probably the most comfortable helmet I've ever worn as far as a modular helmet. I have been really impressed with how comfortable it is. The interior materials are high quality. They're very soft and cushy. It fits my head perfectly. I've talked to a couple of other Specter owners that have made the same claim. They really like the comfort of the helmet. It also has a lot of ventilation. It has a nice large chin vent in the front and a very large vent on top to put air over the top of your head, and it's got some exit ventilation here in the back for the air to flow through. I also like the design of the helmet, but right now I'm just talking about comfort. Very, very well done as far as the face shield. It's very easy to open and close the face shield. It has a single tab in the middle, which makes it easy to open and close. And I love the quick release buckle that it is equipped with. Very, very nice. All in all, a very comfortable helmet. Now there is a little plastic guard that can go up here to kind of block some wind off your nose area and mouth. I have removed it. There's also a little chin guard under here that is removable, but that also helps prevent some of the wind noise from coming up. Now, as far as noise, I've had some showy helmets that I've tested in the past, and I think they're probably a little bit quieter. So this helmet is reasonable. I'd rate it about a 5 out of 10 as far as noise management. It does have what they call, I think they call it AI noise cancellation, and I'm not really sure how that works or what it does, so I don't feel qualified to talk about it. But it's quiet enough to where it's still comfortable, especially on a Goldwing, on a touring bike with a windshield. If my motorcycle did not have a windshield, it might be a little noisy. But other than that, it's a super, super comfortable helmet. And modular helmets, just by their existence, tend to be a little noisier than full-face helmets because you've got a lot of seams here for air and wind to come in. One last thing I will mention about comfort, and that is it's a much lighter helmet than most modulars I've ever ridden with. I did test the Outrush 2 helmet, which is the mid-range helmet. This helmet is about 1 pound lighter. I think it's because of the materials they use to construct this helmet. But for comfort overall, I'd rate it a 9 out of 10. I think it's the most comfortable helmet, maybe the most comfortable helmet I've ever worn. I'll talk a little bit more about the face shields. They're very clear, good optics. It has a good range of vision all the way around. And this helmet is equipped with a sunshade. I would prefer the sunshade to be just a tiny bit darker, because on a really bright sunny day, I'd like it to knock out a little more sunlight, but it's adequate, it's good, and it's very easy to operate, and you can lower it to various levels. So I love the sunshade feature. This helmet is equipped with the top of the line, next generation Harman Kardon speakers, as well as the microphone and Sena's headset. Now, I have found it to be excellent audio quality, probably the best I've ever heard in any modular helmet. Super great volume levels, incredible bass, just really, really excellent sound quality from the speakers that are built in. The microphone, of course, works well. It's very easy to adjust to get it to fit where you need it. And the controls on the side of this helmet, you can tell by looking at it, it's waterproof, so you don't have to worry about rain. It has several different buttons. There is to power the unit on, you press these 2 buttons for just a couple of seconds, and that turns the unit on.
Hello. Battery level is high. Tail light on.
On the front, you have a mesh button that turns on mesh communications. There is no external antenna. The antenna is built into the helmet, which is nice. And you also have a separate wave button if you're using their wave communications. Wave communications sort of uses like cell phone technology, where you can communicate with a wide range of people anywhere in the world that have the Wave app on their cell phone. I'm not going to get into a Wave discussion because I don't personally use Wave, but I definitely use mesh, and the mesh communications on this helmet have been exceptional. We rode back from Tennessee in a group. I think there were 4 of us. On the way to Tennessee, I believe we had 5 riders. All but 1 had Sena mesh. We were able to communicate through the whole ride, no problem. Another thing I love about this helmet is that it has a USB-C recharge port on the bottom here with a rubber flap, so that, again, it stays waterproof. You don't have to worry about moisture. Very good communicator built in. Sena says this has a 30-hour battery life, and that's if you're using mesh. I think our longest riding day in the group coming back was maybe 8 or 9 hours. And when I turned the helmet off, the little notification inside the helmet said I still had high battery life. It never got below high. So I have no reason to dispute Sena's claim that this could go 30 hours in mesh. So that's a very nice system. Now, I personally recharge the helmet every night when I get to the hotel. I just automatically plug everything in and get it recharged. So that's never been an issue for me. Now, Sena has an app for your smartphone that you can use to change some of the settings on this helmet or on this communicator. And it's a very well designed app. You do pair this with your mobile phone and then open up the app, and you can over the air download a firmware update if there are any firmware updates. You can change Vox settings, microphone sensitivity. You can also change a lot of different things in the communicator from the app, and I found it works very well, much better than previous Sena app releases. Been very impressed with the new Sena app. Let's talk about pairing for just a second. I have this helmet, this communicator, paired to my Honda Goldwing's audio system because I use Apple CarPlay. You can also, of course, pair this to your mobile phone if you use your phone for music or for texting or for making and receiving phone calls. I just happen to do it through the Goldwing audio system. But there's also a second mobile phone pairing option. Let's say you ride with a passenger and they have a mobile phone. You can pair both phones to this headset. You can also pair it separately to a GPS so that if you want to get navigation, audio navigation instructions through say a Garmin GPS, you can pair it separately to that. And when a GPS instruction comes through, it will mute the other audio so that you can hear the GPS talking to you. This helmet is unique. It has another pairing option where you can pair it to an action camera. Now this works well if you're using an Insta360 Ace Pro or an X5 like I have, or I think a GoPro 13, the same thing. And that comes in very handy. It just frees up another pairing slot for you. And I have it paired to my Insta360 X5. And during our group ride, I was able to record our entire group mesh communication on that Insta360 X5, and it worked perfectly. Very clear audio coming through that X5 camera. I'll let you listen to a little clip right now. I can hear everybody fine.
Yeah, I can hear everybody.
It
was funny, Chris. Yesterday we came upon 3 Harleys on the road, and Tony forgot we were on open mesh. He was about to do some trash talking.
Yeah, well, you know our Harley brothers.
So just a few other little features real quick. This helmet is equipped with what they call a tail light, and these 2 little lights up here on top, and they can be set to be on permanently, or they can flash to draw a little more attention. Now like I said, I use a brake-free helmet light. I prefer it because I think it's much larger and gives a little bit better visibility. But if you don't have a brake-free, at least you do have some light on the helmet, which I think is very nice. The other issue I'll talk about, or feature I'll talk about, are these controls on the side. They're very nice. I love this little I guess you call it like a jog dial. It can be pressed in, or it can go up or down, like to change your volume and other settings when you're scrolling through menus and things. It's a very nice interface. I find it still a little clunky with gloves. It's still a little hard to find, but I think this is better than some other modular helmets I've used. You know, it could be better. I'd rate the controls of this helmet about an 8 out of 10. Let me go through my ratings real quick. Comfort, I already said, it's 9 out of 10. As far as the communicator, mesh capability, 9 out of 10. Audio quality, I would say, is a 9 out of 10. It's hard for me to give a 10 on anything. The ability and the ease of pairing this to other devices, I would say, is about an 8 out of 10. I personally haven't had a problem pairing it with anything, so maybe I should give it a 9 out of 10. Battery life, I would say, is a 9 out of 10. Just the overall functionality of the helmet, I would say, is probably an 8 out of 10. As far as value, this helmet sells for around $650. When you consider that you're probably getting a $300 communicator built into the helmet, that means you're really only paying about $349 for the helmet, which I think is a good value. I would say I would rate the value at about an 8 out of 10 as well. Everything else about the helmet I personally like. I'm very pleased with it. I like the design. I'd say the design is a 9 out of 10. I just think it looks cool. Again, this is my new go-to helmet. Now, if you're interested in the Sena Specter helmet. It comes in a couple of colors. It comes in this gloss white. It also comes in a matte black, for those of you that are into matte black. You can save some money on this helmet using my discount code Cruiseman. I'll put a link in the description of this video, and if you use that, go to the Sena website, you find the Sena Specter, make sure when you check out, you enter coupon code or discount code Cruiseman, and you should save 10%. So that'll save you a little money there. Very pleased with this helmet. Let me know what you think in the comments down below. If you have a Sena Specter helmet, let me know what your thoughts are on this product. And if you have any questions about the helmet, maybe something I left out or failed to talk about, let me know in the comments and I'll do my best to answer your questions. Thank you for joining me today. If you liked this video, do me a favor, please give it a thumbs up, because that really does help my YouTube rankings. And as always, I'll see you on the next Cruiseman's review, but until then, remember to ride often, but ride safe.